Welcome to the latest episode of First Impressions, where I try out brand new video games so you can see whether you think you'll like them before you spend your hard-earned money on them. Today we're looking at Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, which is a remaster of a legendary, fast-paced ninja action game. I didn't play the original and I haven't played this one yet, but I am super excited about it. This is one of the wonderful things about Game Pass, is that you get to try games that you maybe normally wouldn't buy. I do have to point out at this point that I am a Game Pass partner and I do receive Game Pass for free. Although I did pay for it before I had that partnership, and it's one of the things I loved most when I built my first PC and started gaming on PC, is that I suddenly had access to this huge range of games and some amazing AAA games on day one release as well. I'm a big fan of Game Pass, but you do have to know that I don't pay for it anymore, and therefore you should probably treat this as an ad. Anyway, I'm going to play this game for 30 minutes to an hour, and at the end of that, I'm going to give you a 5-minute breakdown of things I like, things I didn't like, and whether I recommend you give this game a go. Like I said, treat everything with a pinch of salt, and only buy this game or use it on Game Pass if you think you're going to enjoy it. Right, let's get into the gameplay. Okay, here we go. I've not done anything on this yet. I think we go for normal. I play every game on normal, to be honest with you. Sky City, Tokyo. Special Agent Sonya appears at the door of a tiny shop run by Master Swordsmith Muramasa amidst the skyscrapers of Tokyo. She inquires after the ninja Ryu Hayabusa. His whereabouts a mystery. She brings news of a terrible danger facing the world, bearing a message that must reach Hayabusa at any cost. As night falls, the evil Black Spider ninja clan emerges from the shadows to infest the streets of this unsuspecting city. Okay, alright, there's a bit of story going on. I don't know what this game looked like before, but, you know, it looks nice now. Oh, it's like a futuristic Tokyo. I didn't realise that. Did not realise that at all. If you're wondering, guys, I'm playing on PC. And I have an GeForce RTX 4070 Super, a Ryzen 9 7950X3D, 64 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM. That's what I'm running this game on.
Get this straight. Let me see here. You don't have a clue where I can find Ryu Hayabusa?
No one knows
Ryu
where a ninja goes.
Hayabusa.
If he isn't at the Hayabusa village, he could be halfway around the world.
Is this one of those games where I should really be playing it in Japanese?
Do you have business with Ryu?
I do.
And what might that be?
All I'll say is that it concerns the Archfiend.
The Archfiend?
The Archfiend.
The guy's got more eyebrows than eyes. So many eyebrows. Oh! Whoa! She's wearing almost no clothes. People coming in with claws for hands, and she's got guns. Okay, so this is a remaster. You can see the age of the game in kind of movements and how it looks. It still looks pretty good. Edward Scissorhands here, about to chop us up. Oh, very ninja-y. There's a lot of blood gushing. A lot of blood. The female character in this game seems to be modelled on the fantasies of a teenage boy. And the male character is just my fantasies.
We have the woman. I expected more, Ryu Hayabusa.
Whoa! He just jumped off the skyscraper. Oh. What the hell? I don't really... The controls on this are so weird. Like, it's like I don't know who I am. Yeah, like the camera movement's super odd. Super odd. Like I was struggling to keep a handle on who I am in that whole mess.
If it isn't Ryu.
They were minions of the Black Spider clan.
They were. We'll get them though. We'll get that Black Spider clan.
Heard from them in a while.
Who was the woman?
You don't know her? Neither do I.
Need a little sip of coffee after
You
that.
couldn't save her. She was looking for you. She said it was about the Archfiend.
Yeah, that first fight felt a bit all over the place.
The Archfiend.
He's got very wonderful eyes, hasn't he? Very wonderful eyes. Let me talk about this game for a minute. It is really clear as soon as you get into the actual controlling of your character that this is an older game. If you didn't know it was a remaster, I think you would assume that it was that. To be clear, I think graphically, the work they've done on this as a remaster, without having looked at what came before, the graphics hold up well. It looks like a nice game. You know, it looks very clean. You know, the environments look nice. It feels like they've done a good job of the kind of remaster of the game. Control-wise, it's a real pain in the arse. Like the way that camera moves around is really frustrating, and the camera movement itself is so slow. Compare that to the actual character movement, which is very fast-paced. You know, it feels a bit kind of button bashy to me. There's kind of 2 attacks and some various other skills that you get as you go through. But as your character lunges and dodges, the camera changes position in such weird ways, so you're never really aligned with what direction your character's pointing in. There's stuff that you would have in modern games that's absolutely missing from this, things like locking onto specific characters. So the fights, rather than feeling like you're in control, it just feels like you're scrambling to try and get your character to go where you want him to go. You're obviously getting attacked from multiple different angles, but it's impossible to actually have direction with your character because that camera movement is so slow. And you can be standing in certain positions and try and move the camera around, and it just feels like it takes an age to get that to move. So that's a frustration. But the game itself is a lot of fun. Like I can certainly see how when this was released, you know, I'm assuming this game is, like, you know, 10 years old originally or something like that. I don't know. I'd have to check. I can see that this kind of style of game would have been super exciting, very action packed, you know, lots of kind of blood and gore, you know, lots of fast paced multi-enemy battles. And there's some nice lore and story built in there as well. It's a little bit over the top. It's a little bit kind of grotesque. It's a little bit, you know, just in your face, I guess. A bit gratuitous in terms of some of the effects, the blood effects and stuff. That's absolutely fine. You know, that's part of gaming. That's part of this genre, I guess. It's very, very much blood and gore and just run and gun. That's the whole aim of the game, is just run and gun. And that's absolutely fine. But when the camera movement is so slow in terms of your controls in comparison to the rest of the game, it makes it a little bit painful to move. You know, in modern games, you very much find that the camera sets you so the camera is behind your character when you're in fight scenes. So directionally, you know exactly where you're facing, you know who you're battling, you know who's behind you, in front of you. With this game, it's like, I'm not really sure what the camera's doing, but it makes it painful. I think if you have nostalgia for this game, if you played it the first time, I think this would be an absolute joy, because you go into it going, oh yes, this is the game that I loved that's now kind of visually remastered and feels wonderful. I'd have to go and look at what it looked like before, but all I can say is if it wasn't for the controls, this would feel like a modern game in terms of how it looks and how it plays. If not a bit kind of arcadey, it definitely feels like a modern game. But the controls, for me, the reactivity of the controls, not the mapping themselves, kind of lets it down a little bit for me, just because you're never really sure where you're going. If this wasn't on Game Pass, would I recommend buying it? Probably not, if I'm honest with you. But that's my personal thing, because I don't have a relationship with Ninja Gaiden. If you do, and you enjoyed this game when it first was released, or you played it when it first released, and you're looking for a bit of hit of nostalgia, then absolutely. You know, would I pay for it myself and be super happy with this as a new game release? Not really, to be honest with you. It's not my thing. It's just too clunky in terms of the controls, and I think that would end up frustrating me a lot. It being on Game Pass, though, is it a game that I'm happy to have had the opportunity to try? Is it fun to play? Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And this is, I suppose, the wonder of Game Pass. And again, I'll point out here that I am a Game Pass partner, but I will also reiterate that I did pay for it before I was a Game Pass partner, because I just think it is great. It gives you this opportunity to play games that you otherwise wouldn't play, or you go, I don't think I'd pay for that. Just the value you get from being able to do that and try different stuff out that you wouldn't usually try is so good. So I think, you know, graphically this looks good, but it definitely feels in your hands like an older game. Looks, you know, fairly aligned with modern games. On the arcadey side, graphically they've done a great job at remastering it. I assume it didn't look as good as when it was first released as it does on this variation of it, but I just wish those controls were a bit more reactive, and I wish that camera did a better job at maintaining its position. So for me, that's a bit of a disappointment. But you know, it's fun run and gun, just absolutely hack and slash your way through this, and you know, make your way through. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, do hit that subscribe button. Costs nothing to subscribe at all. If you want early access to content like this, you can become a paid member on YouTube as well as on Ko-fi, but you don't have to do that. You can just hit subscribe and you can turn on notifications, and you get notified when there's new videos, whether it's game reviews, whether it's vlogs, whether it's early access. There's a whole bunch of things that happen on this channel, including live streams, that I'd love for you to be a part of. Let me know what you think of Ninja Gaiden, and whether you think I'm wrong in my opinion about the controls, whether you think that's just how it should be. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys on the next one.